Once upon a time, there was a kind lady named Sarah who lived with her two children in her father-in-law's house. Her husband, Joe, loved Sarah and the kids very much, but he had a big dream to go to America, find a good job, and make lots of money for his family. He promised Sarah he would come back for them soon. At first, everything was wonderful. Joe called Sarah every day, and they even made video calls. He always told her how much he missed her and the kids. Sarah was happy, knowing that even though Joe was far away, he was working hard for their family. This went on for a year, but then everything changed. Joe's calls became less and less frequent until one day he stopped calling. Sarah tried calling him many times, but he never picked up. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Sarah began to worry, feeling hurt and confused. One day, while Sarah was looking through her social media, she saw something that made her heart drop. She found a picture of Joe with another woman, smiling and holding hands. But this woman wasn't Sarah, she was a stranger, a white lady from America. And to Sarah's shock, the post announced that Joe had married her. Sarah felt heartbroken. She sent him a message, asking him why he did this, but instead of explaining, Joe blocked her. Now, she couldn't contact him at all. Sarah cried for days, feeling as if her world had fallen apart. After some time, Sarah decided to talk to Joe's father, whom she called Grandpa. She told him what happened and said she was tired of waiting and didn't want to be in the marriage anymore. Grandpa felt sad for Sarah and didn't want her to leave, so he promised to take care of her and the kids. Grandpa had always been kind to Sarah, treating her like a daughter. One day, Grandpa asked Sarah if she wanted to start a business. Sarah mentioned she had always dreamed of having a salon. Grandpa, wanting to support her, helped her open the salon, and Sarah felt grateful to him. She was slowly finding happiness again. Then one day, Grandpa told Sarah he had to go to Senegal for a conference. He asked if she'd like to come along. Sarah didn't want to leave her children, but Grandpa assured her the nanny would take good care of them, so she decided to go with him. After the conference, Grandpa took her to a fancy dinner. Sarah felt free and happy, laughing more than she had in a long time. Later that night they went back to their hotel rooms, but Sarah, feeling joyful, hugged Grandpa and nearly kissed him. She immediately pulled back, embarrassed. But Grandpa gently sat her down and told her not to feel bad. He admitted that he also had special feelings for her, but he wanted to do things the right way. He proposed they get married, but he wanted to wait until they returned home. Sarah felt her heart lift. She was so happy to have someone who cared for her and her children. But just as Sarah and Grandpa started planning their wedding, something unexpected happened. Joe lost everything in America. His new wife discovered he only married her for selfish reasons and reported him to the authorities. They took Joe to jail and eventually deported him back to Nigeria. When Joe found out that Sarah was planning to marry his father, he was furious. He tried to cause trouble, spreading rumors and saying Sarah was taking advantage of his old father. He even told her he wanted her back, trying to make her feel guilty. But Sarah had moved on. Grandpa told Joe to be responsible and act as a father to his children, but Joe wasn't ready to let go. Then, something surprising happened. Joe's new wife, the woman from America, reached out to Sarah. She wanted to tell Sarah the whole story and apologize for Joe's behavior. She said she felt terrible that Joe had lied to both of them. Sarah, although shocked, was kind and listened to her story. The woman even offered to help with the kids, knowing they had been affected by Joe's actions. As time went on, Joe finally stopped causing trouble. Sarah and Grandpa were married, and they continued to take care of the children, filling their home with love and laughter. Joe, who once had big dreams in America, learned a valuable lesson about honesty and love but was left to rebuild his life on his own. Sarah and Grandpa, meanwhile, lived happily ever after, surrounded by family and the love they had created. Please like, share and subscribe for more interesting stories.